don't feel like where you are now is where you're always going to be. Shift your mindset, shift your perception to see the opportunities here and now. What are you able to do now that you won't be able to do when your manifestation's here? What can you do to prepare for your manifestation's arrival? Create the space, become your own soulmate, if it's love or friendships or whatever you're trying to attract into your life. Do the work now. Take inspired, aligned action. Prepare for your manifestations. Hey gorgeous souls, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all having a fabulous week, whatever you're up to, and thank you so much for joining me for today's video. If you're new here to my channel, then welcome. My name is Emma Mumford. I'm the UK's leading law of attraction expert. I'm an award-winning life coach and mentor, best-selling author, and podcast host of Spiritual Queen's Badass Podcast. And here on this channel, we cover all things spirituality, self-help, law of attraction, and manifestation. So I really hope you're going to enjoy today's video and all of the videos here on my channel. So this is a really interesting topic that I want to cover with you today, and so many of you have brought this up before, and I've seen lots of other mentors and teachers talking about this, and it really got me thinking of like, what is my take on this and how do I view this and how has that played out in my own life? And I think as well, along our law of attraction and manifestation journey, it's so easy to compare ourselves. It's so easy to feel lost along that journey and feel like we should be somewhere or we should be doing something by now, or we should have that desire. And very often it's so easy for people to fall into the trap of thinking that when something arrives, life's going to be better, and that actually, you know, it's okay because right now I'm just in that like middle ground, and when my desire gets here, everything's going to be great. I'll have that, this will work out, I'll feel this, XYZ, whatever it is you're saying. And I definitely was that person who believed that many years ago when I first went on my law of attraction journey. But when I wrote my second book, Positively Wealthy, obviously it really brought home for me as I went along that deep journey of actually how, yeah, that's not true. And no matter how much you manifest, if you're not feeling joy, for not feeling alignment and peace and fulfillment here in the present moment, in the in-between, the messy middle as such, then how on earth can you expect to receive that abundance or to even enjoy that abundance once it's here? So I want to dive into this a little bit more with you today and give my 2 cents on what I feel we should be doing in that middle ground, in the waiting, the in-between limbo as such, and how that actually has a lot of opportunities and how it could even be argued that could be the main event. So throughout life, we're always evolving, we're always growing, right? And you know, if you look back now, if you actually sit with me now and think about some things that maybe you were asking for last year or even like 5 years ago, 2 years ago, whatever, think about what you were asking for at that time. And I probably bet you've got those things in your life, right? So that, you know, we can always reflect and think, do you know what? There was a time you were praying or, you know, manifesting the things that you have in your life today. So if that's not a moment or an opportunity for gratitude first and foremost, then I don't know what is. But equally, you know, we always get to where we're meant to be. But when we're in that middle ground, when we're in the trenches as such, when we're in that waiting period of limbo where we're working towards something or wanting to manifest something, it can really very quickly become like an autopilot phase where, and I know myself, where you can kind of like switch into autopilot. You can kind of think, oh, well, you know, this part of my life doesn't matter because when this comes, that's when my life's going to start, or that's when I'm going to feel this, or that's the main event as such. But what happens if we were to actually just play with the notion or think about the notion that the process could be the main event? And I think we spend so much of our time wishing and wanting away periods of our life or difficult times in our life that we go through to experience the joy, that we miss the blessing and opportunity in that process, in the messy middle, as we're going along that journey. And like, from looking at my own experiences and what I've gone through throughout my manifestation journey, you know, I've definitely wished and wanted and hoped that time away to just get to the good bit, get to the manifestation, get to the point where I have that thing in my life. But actually looking back now, having achieved all those things and having those beautiful things in my life, and I look back along my journey the last 6 years, I think, well, actually, everything that happened in the process meant I was able to receive that abundance. Everything that's happened in that process has shaped me into the person I am today to be able to have those desires, to be able to be the best version of myself, to be able to write books that are worthy of a book deal and, bestsellers, to feel love and joy in my life, to show up as the best version of myself. And without the challenges and the adversity sometimes and the inner work and all of the things that came into that difficult, messy middle as such. And it doesn't always have to be a messy middle as well, but I love how Brene Brown, the queen herself, talks about the messy middle in her work and the arena of life, because it makes so much sense and it really helped me to just understand that process and the process in itself as I went along that in my life, as I've obviously written about that in my books. This is really going to appeal to the people who are in that messy middle, who are in that middle limbo period, who are like, I just want that thing right now. I'll be happy when I have that thing. It's okay that I'm on autopilot, Emma, because when that thing comes into my life, then I'll be able to enjoy it. And then I'll have time to focus on that. And I actually had a client the other day who said to me, I'm so focused on work, I don't even have time for a relationship to come in, but I have nothing else to focus on, so it's okay. And I was like, no, it's not okay. Like, that's not what we do, because we can have focuses. So for instance, in that instance, I could obviously relate to that in myself and my journey of when we throw ourselves into something to distract ourselves or fill a void or fill time essentially. Yes, we have the energy and the space to actually give more attention to our business or whatever it may be. Yes, you have more time and energy to give to that, to help it to flourish, to nurture it. But we also have to be nurturing and creating the space for the thing that we don't quite have yet. And if you're not creating the space for that relationship, if you're not creating this space to have a relationship with yourself and be your own soulmate first, how on earth can you expect to manifest that? Because if you're busying and cluttering and filling your life with something, there's no room for anything else to come in. There's no room for that as such. And a person also said to me as well about, I accept that we're always going to want more, and that when we have a manifestation, like I accept that, we're always going to feel that desire for more. And I thought, who is teaching this? No, read Positively Wealthy, please. So I, again, was that person who just accepted that I'm probably always going to want more and manifest more, and it's still not going to feel good inside. I'm still going to feel like I'm not fulfilled, and I'm still going to feel that void as I talk about in the book. And going along that journey, I realized and healed so much, especially with my next book, Her Healing Healed, that comes out in October. Again, it amplified all those themes of we do not have to feel miserable now. We do not have to feel unhappy or unfulfilled or like we're just passing time or autopiloting in the process. The process is not that. The process is highlighting those things and incorporating and feeling and healing if needed to feel peace, joy, fulfillment now, because life is happening now. And if we were to look at this from probably quite a skeptical point of view instead of law of attraction, nothing is ever guaranteed. And again, that is a very law of attraction term. Nothing is ever guaranteed for us in life. So if we live from that space instead of the space of law of attraction, which teaches us like everything's possible, you can have everything, which yes, is true for the highest good of all. But we also have to realize like nothing is ever a guarantee in life. And when we live here and now in the present moment, that is the only time that you can receive your desire. That is the only time you can feel happiness. And it is the only time you can experience your life or experience the blessings in your life. If you're living in the past, you're not going to be manifesting or, attracting things because you're in the past. If you're living in the future and future tripping and thinking, I'll be happy when I have this, you're also not in the present moment. The present moment is the only time you are going to receive any form of abundance because it only happens here and now. We only ever have today, this moment, here, right, and now. So I want to challenge you to see this moment as special and beautiful in itself. And there is an opportunity in every single process. It may not feel like that at the time. And you may think, Emma, I am so fed up of this. I am so done. I just want my manifestation. Like I have been waiting enough. Stop saying all this stuff. It's not making me feel better. But there is a reason why you are in this season of your life right now. I've spoken about polarity before. I've spoken about the rhythms and cycles of our life with the divine feminine, divine masculine energy of like summer, winter. You know, if we never knew what a bad day was, we would never ever know what a good day was. If we didn't know the feeling of lack in our life, we would never be able to appreciate or give gratitude to the blessings in our life. We need polarities in life and seasons in our life to fully thrive in our summer when we're experiencing that manifestation and the very thing we want. And there is also so much goodness that can happen in that winter feminine energy of going inwards, doing the inner work, you know, being a little hermit, going inside and seeing what needs to be looked at. So remember, this too shall pass. And that was a quote that my lovely friend said to me, and it stuck with me all these years of this too shall pass. And no matter what you're facing at the moment, no matter how frustrated, no matter how you are wanting your desire more than anything, I fully understand that and see that. And it's really important that we understand that this too shall pass. This moment will pass. And next week, you'll be in a total different energy and a total different environment, focusing on totally different things, right? So it's only here and now that it feels intense. And who knows, in a month's time, you could be in a completely different space of your life. But you know what that takes? It takes shift. It takes embracing the messy middle. It takes embracing the process and making joy and fun out of where you are here and now. So ask yourself, are you experiencing joy and fun here in the present moment? Are you someone who is living in the future like, I'll feel happy when that arrives, or it's fine, my life will begin when that arrives? Stop it now. Like, you need to be living here in the present moment, and you need to be embracing all of the opportunities and all of the goodness and the healing potentially and the shifts that allow you. And I look back over my journey and I think, God, if I'd have just received that manifestation like 4 years ago, oh my God, I would not have been able to keep it. I would have not been in the right place in my life. I would have not been the best person for like in myself to show up to that opportunity. And it just wouldn't have been right. So divine timing plays absolutely a massive factor in all of this, of course, but really divine timing is alignment. And all divine timing is reminding us that we just need a little bit more alignment. We just need to shift a little something here. And that's all it is. It's really just remembering we're that energetic frequency, like those radio stations. And like you might be hearing your desires up here and it's just shifting. It's just aligning. It's just finding that alignment to bring it into your reality. So yes, that could mean there's some inner work to look at, limiting beliefs, blocks, fears, or resistance, definitely. It could just be alignment as a whole. So yes, inner work does come into that alignment, that energetic frequency, but also look at alignment. Are you expressing your true, authentic self? Do you express yourself fully each and every day? Are you honoring your needs and your desires? Are you looking after yourself? Are you, making sure your garden as such in life is nurtured and watered all round? You're not just, watering and nurturing that business side of your life or work, you're nurturing your personal life as well. So instead of waiting for someone to come along and bring that happiness or to be like, oh, now I don't have to focus on work. No. And this was such a big shift in my journey where I had to create the space. So that started off by creating work-life balance, where I wasn't feeling burnt out. I didn't have my hormonal imbalance anymore. And I wasn't giving my all to my work to distract myself. I was actually having a healthy, thriving personal life, being my own soulmate first, loving myself, healing, doing all that goodness and creating the space in my life so that the alignment was there to receive, instead of being like, oh, here's all my energy in one area of my life. I'm just gonna, oh God, now that's here. Now I need to create space. That's not how this works. You must go first and then the universe matches you. So I want to challenge you today to go first, make the first move. Use this video as a reminder to yourself of you must go first and the universe will match you. So if you've been wanting to manifest that thing in your life for a while now, embrace this process. Get uncomfortable in this process, because by getting uncomfortable and really being present and allowing ourselves to feel joy and peace and fulfillment now is the only way you're going to manifest manifest your desires. So looking back over the years, do I believe that the process is the main event? I definitely believe the process is the secret. I definitely believe that the secret to abundance, joy, happiness is in the process, and that the process is so important for us to grow and to develop and become and align with the version of ourselves that has our desires. But as we then receive our desires, they then become, an important aspect of our life as we enjoy them, as we, embrace them in our life and welcome them in and experience them. But there'll be lessons with that too. There'll be blessings, there'll be lessons, there'll be growth, there'll be evolution. We have to learn on the job as well with our manifestations. So that, even though that are things then in your life, there'll be new challenges, there'll be new things to look forward to, there'll be new things to experience. And then that will be a process in itself of growing, of evolution. And then you might start working towards something else. And then you'll think, God, remember that time where I was really working towards that relationship in my life, or whatever it is, that job, career, whatever. And now I have that, and now I'm focusing on something else. So life is a constant rhythm. We go through seasons. There are natural rhythms there, and this too shall pass. Just like anything, this too shall pass. Good, bad, whatever. Nothing's ever good or bad, right? So it's looking at, don't feel like where you are now is where you're always going to be. Shift your mindset, shift your perception to see the opportunities here and now. What are you able to do now that you won't be able to do when your manifestation's here? What can you do to prepare for your manifestation's arrival? Create the space. Become your own soulmate, if it's love or friendships or whatever you're trying to attract into your life. Do the work now. Take inspired, aligned action. Prepare for your manifestations. Do the things that you won't be able to do once that manifestation's here, if there is something you won't be able to do. And really honor now. Have fun here and now, because life is too short. And you don't want to look back and say, God, I wasted 5 years of my life wanting, wishing, hoping, wishing away that time. And I didn't truly appreciate the beauty and the miracles and the opportunity that was available to me in that time, because there is in everything. So please embrace it. Please create fun and joy and alignment here and now, because that is the quickest way to your desires, and you will feel so much happier, and you don't need to be on autopilot. This isn't a season of your life where, we'll forget about that. We're just letting that breeze along until we get to the good bit. Life is happening here and now, and every single chapter of your book, every single chapter of your life is so important and will teach you something which will allow you to experience the highs of your manifestations when they arrive. Think about it like a mountain. If you were climbing up the mountain, that process is climbing up the mountain, which is gonna feel tough. It's gonna probably mentally challenge you and physically challenge you, and you're probably gonna want to give up at some point to think, how on earth am I gonna get to the top of that? How am I gonna reach that summit? But when you reach the summit, it's so worth it, and it's so much more rewarding because you know what it took to get there. You know what it took, and the struggle and the lessons and the strength you learn and the character and person you are because of walking up or climbing that mountain. So we would not be able to admire the view or truly appreciate the view without that uphill climb before. So the process is the main event, and the process is where the secrets to manifestation and joy and fulfillment lie. So enjoy today, enjoy the process, embrace the process, and see it as a beautiful opportunity to meet an even more amazing version of yourself, a version of yourself that you can align with and attract your desires into your life. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video, Queens, and please do let me know your thoughts. Do you believe the process is the main event in the comments below? Because I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, and I'm sure everybody else watching would love to hear what everybody else has to say on it as well. But thank you so much, guys, for watching. I appreciate all your views and likes. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new here, because I would love to see you again soon. Don't forget to leave me a comment in the comments box below, because I reply to them all. And don't forget you can join my free Law of Attraction support group over on Facebook, where you can join myself and other like-minded souls, where we talk all things law of attraction and spirituality. I hope you have a fantastic week, whatever you are up to, and I'll see you all in my next video, which will be on Tuesday. Lots of love.